Skinner Auto Group in Richfield Springs and Turnbull Insurance Service since 1866 present Mohawk Valley Living, exploring the arts, culture, and heritage of our region. A special good morning to Fred and Lois watching in Oneonta.
Good morning and welcome to Mohawk Valley Living. Now originally we were supposed to be in Cooperstown today, but the weather was so bad we couldn't make it down there to the farm that we were going to visit. So we decided to visit an indoor farm. Here it is. Stay tuned to find out what I'm talking about.
Aquavita Farms is located in one of the warehouses of the more than 1 million square feet of structures in the Sherrill Manufacturing Complex. This new venture utilizes a growing method which combines fish farming with hydroponic gardening.
We started May 1st. We took this old building, which is the former polishing building at what used to be the United Silver Factory, which is now Sherrill Manufacturing. We took it on May 1st. It was full of 60 years of industrial equipment. It hadn't been used for anything in 7 years, had been storage. We came in, we cleaned everything up, we built our systems, and we actually took our first harvest the very last week in August. And we've really been harvesting and shipping products steadily since September. The idea came when I read an article in the Wall Street Journal. I was working on a degree at SUNY Institute of Technology in Marcy. And as I was finishing that up in April, I read an article in the Wall Street Journal about a company in Milwaukee that was doing something similar. They'd taken an old crane factory, converted it into an indoor ecosystem like we've done here. And that's where the idea came from. I started investigating it, started researching it, learning more and more, visiting farms that were doing aquaculture, which is fish farming, visiting farms that were doing hydroponics, which is growing plants without soil, and starting to learn how to put those two together and get aquaponics, which is what we do. With aquaponics, what people always say, or the easy answer, is that we feed the fish feed the plants clean the water. It is a little more complicated than that, but that's the basic idea. We feed the fish create nutrients by digesting the food. That nutrified water passes through a filtration system where we remove the solids, pass the nutrified water through biofiltration where we convert it from waste into plant food. The plants absorb all of that plant food, and then it returns back to the plant or back to the fish as clean water. Well, right now our big two products are our aquaponic lettuce mix, which is a blend of baby heirloom lettuces and salad greens, and then also our sweet basil that we're growing is really started to catch on in the market.
You can enjoy the fresh greens from Aquavita Farms at a growing number of local restaurants and distributors. Want to learn more? There are tours every month, or you can schedule a personal tour. There are also workshops on starting aquaponics. Visit our website for links and information, mohawkvalleyliving.com. Watch Mohawk Valley Living every Sunday at 7:30 a.m. and 11:35 p.m. on WKTV. And check out what's new on mohawkvalleyliving.com. Skinner Auto in Richfield Springs is your Ford store and your local dealer for Chrysler, Jeep, and Dodge. You'll find a dedicated sales team ready to serve you and help you find the right vehicle to fit your style and budget. Skinner Auto in Richfield Springs. Now you're thinking smart. In 1866, James B. Turnbull walked to farms and villages to visit his customers, earning their trust. Today, the fourth generation of Turnbulls continue that dedication, tailoring a life insurance plan to suit your unique needs and priorities. Turn to the company that is out there to earn your trust. Turn to Turnbull.
Hi, Dr. Tom. Bringing your cat to the Paris Hill Cat Hospitals on Sundays is a part of Mohawk Valley Living. Come inside and see why.
Paris Hill Cat Hospital, this is Lindsay. How can I help you? Your cat is losing weight and you need an appointment, and you're only available on the weekend. Sure, I have an appointment Sunday with Dr. Karen. Does that fit into your schedule? Okay, we'll see you then. Thank you.
We're open 7 days a week because we know that your cat can become ill anytime. The Paris Hill Cat Hospital, quality care for your cats and kittens.
Alex and Nika Restaurant in the heart of Cooperstown. Come in and relax. Fabulous cocktails and eclectic cuisine with something for every taste and budget. Our upstairs dining room is available for parties or private dining. Bring family and friends or that special someone. Alex and Nika Restaurant, open every day for lunch and dinner.
Got a grandchild? Then you gotta get to Cobbler & Company. Their children's area is expanding, including new huggable Sesame Street characters by Gund. And it's your source for Melissa and Doug, from puzzles to puppets, magnets, music, and more. Cobbler & Company in Sharon Springs. Give your tongue a twist at the Black Cat Cafe. Great coffee, fabulous baked goods, and delicious breakfast, lunch, and afternoon teas. Open Thursday through Monday and online at blackcat-ny.com. The cat's got your tongue. The Black Cat Cafe in Sharon Springs. Spa services have returned to historic Sharon Springs. Modern spa amenities with old world hospitality. Give the gift of wellness. Available instantly at springhousespa.com.
I came rolling down the hill, down into the Mohawk Valley. Train pulled into Union Station. One passenger was I who chose to stay. I heard drums along the river and bands.
Ravenswood Comics in New Hartford presents MV Clubs and Hobbies. This week we visit the personal museum of local Hot Wheels collector Mike Zarnock. You may have seen some of his collection at the Children's Museum in Utica, but they're just a fraction of his collection that landed him in the Guinness Book of World Records. He is an author, columnist, and authority on everything Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels came out in sales in 1968, but the inception or the conception was 1966 by Elliot Handler, who owned Mattel at the time. He saw his grandchildren playing with Matchbox cars. And so, of course, he said, here I am owning Mattel and Barbie and all that, and my grandchildren are playing with someone else's toys. So he decided to make his own car. And he got some real car designers, Harry Bentley Bradley and a bunch of other guys, and designed Hot Wheels. The first 16 Hot Wheels were released in 1968. At the time, there were real muscle cars running around on the streets, and of course Matchbox, they didn't have anything like that. They had dump trucks and snowplows and things like that. Where Hot Wheels had muscle cars, they had race cars, they had cars with mag wheels and slicks and redline tires and superchargers, just like the cars that you saw on the street. You know, back then there were AC Cobras, there were big block Corvettes, there were Super B 6-packs, 442s, all kinds of really cool cars that were cruising around the street. Elliot Handler decided to make those cars for kids to put in their hands and play with. So, and they were instant hit. And I was there. I was 10 years old, and it was just the most wonderful time in the world to be a kid. You know, as a kid, I used to write letters to Mattel because I collected every Hot Wheel that came out. And of course, I would try to take the wheels off and put different wheels on and things like that. I would get $1 and I would write a letter and say, I needed more wheels and tires. And one time I even said that my little brother ate the wheel. I don't even have a little brother, but I said my little brother ate the wheels off it, so could you send me some more wheels? So maybe I had a little bit of insight or a little push for them to stop making things that kids could swallow.
Right.
But a couple of months later, I would get this really cool letter from Mattel with my $1 back and a whole bag full of different size wheels, and just I collected them forever. And after I wrote my first book in 2002, I started going to different shows and sitting alongside the designers and the people that make the cars, and signing autographs, and became really good friends with a lot of them. And how I started and how everyone should start is by collecting something that you like, something that makes you happy. Some guys collect Corvettes, some guys collect Mustangs, some guys collect station wagons. It doesn't matter. Whatever you collect, go out there and find it. Go out there and collect it. You can open it, you can keep it in the package, you can buy two, open one, and put the other one on the shelf. But it's all what makes you happy. It's your hobby. Do whatever makes you happy. Collect whatever. I don't care if it's rocks. Have a hobby. Do something cool. But if you're going to collect Hot Wheels or Matchbox, whatever, collect anything that makes you happy.
To learn more about Mike's collection and publications, you can visit his website, where you'll also discover the Mike Zarnock's Altered Roadster, a Hot Wheels model actually designed after one of Mike's own cars. Visit MikeZarnock.com. The Kirkland Art Center in Clinton presents Local Arts. The art of papermaking has been traced back to the 1st century in China. Today, handmade paper is created much the same way.
Stay up all night and watch
Here at the studio of Philippa Schrader, cooked bark fibers are mashed, suspended in water, lifted by a screen, drained, pressed, and dried to form paper. Paper that she uses to create all kinds of boxes, ornaments, books, and jewelry.
Gonna eat lots of cherries. I'm gonna see the town. I'm gonna lay in the sun till my skin turns nice and brown.
Oh, well, my next door neighbour wanted to take a class down at Rome Art Community Centre and didn't want to do it by herself. And she said, would I like to come with her? So I did, and made mountains of paper. And then it was, what do you do with it all? I make earrings and boxes and books and cards. Because I start off with a big sheet of paper and then I gradually work it down, and so I might end up with 2-inch by 1-inch piece of paper. Then I can make a pair of earrings. So I save everything. Well, I used to work in fabric, and with fabric you have limitations. With paper you can do anything. You don't have to worry about raw edges and seams. You can just glue 2 pieces together, and you've got a piece big enough, and you can just do anything with it. You can, stencil it, paint it, cut it, twist it. Oh, so well, some I find online, or in books, and I think my expertise is finding an idea and then running with it. So what I start out making, after doing it a few times, turns into something completely different, and I like to make things my own. I don't like to copy people's ideas directly, because it's so much fun and I enjoy it. And there's still more to explore.
The automobile has gone through many changes through the years, but the Turnbull family's commitment to local drivers has not. Researching and selecting the best coverage for you with unparalleled service, claims handling, and settlement. Turn to a local company with 4 generations of knowledge and experience. Turn to Turnbull. Visit Trenton Teas, specializing in only premium quality teas. The finest varietal and herbal teas available. Nearly 100 different teas and tea accessories and scone mixes. Come in and sample teas of distinction at Trenton Teas in downtown Utica. Plan a visit to the Arkell Museum at Canajoharie this month and experience the bold Impressionist style of J. Hall Conaway. Also enjoy American paintings from the 1920s and 30s. Visit the Arkell Museum at Canajoharie, just off the Thruway at exit 29. The Village Hall Gallery in Sharon Springs presents the works of over 24 local artists and now features beautiful Thistle Hill weavings. The Village Hall Gallery in downtown Sharon Springs. Make any day a special day and a special day even better with fresh baked pastries and cookies from Cafe Caruso on Bleecker Street in East Utica. Stop in or call ahead for special orders. Visit Maria's Pasta Shop for Italian gift baskets and be sure to order your holiday party trays. Impress your friends and family with homemade pasta from Maria's Pasta Shop, Oneida Street in Utica. Where can you find fair trade, local, and organic gifts like Dean's Beans coffee, fresh bulk almonds and cashews, and hand-dipped candles and local pottery? Tom's Natural Foods in Clinton, naturally. Don't let a special diet keep you from enjoying the taste of the season. The dessert booth has vegan, gluten-free, and other food allergy treats. Call ahead for special orders. The dessert booth in Clinton. Meelan's Meat Market would like to thank you for a great 2011. The market will be closed January 23rd and reopen February 20th with all the fresh-made meats you love. Thank you for making Meelan's Meat Market your meat headquarters. Warm up with a hot bowl of homemade soup at the Blue Dragon Cafe. Try savory Harvest Moon or West African peanut soup. And don't forget their gluten-free breads and desserts at the Blue Dragon Cafe in Clayville. It's time for the Skinner Auto Group road trip. It's Truck Month at Skinner Auto in Richfield Springs. They have the toughest trucks around, both kinds, Ram and Ford. Visit Skinner Auto in Richfield Springs during Truck Month. This week we head to Utica to tour 2 historic streets, Bleecker and Broad. But first we visit our friends at the Oneida County Historical Society to get a glimpse of what these streets were like during the early 20th century. Volunteer Carl Saporito helps us look up photos from the archives. And Executive Director Brian Howard gives us a peek at the ceiling restoration project. He tells us the upstairs will reopen in the spring. The historic streets of Bleecker and Broad begin at Genesee Street and run parallel to each other eastward for over a mile. They bisect the historic and culturally dynamic East Utica. The culture and tradition of Utica's Italian immigrants is kept alive at the Sons of Italy on Bleecker Street. The local club is part of a national organization dedicated to preserving Italian heritage.
Well, the organization as a whole was founded in 1905 by Dr. Vincent Salato. He was down in the New York City area, and it was his desire to have an organization to which the Italian Americans newly arrived to the country would be able to come to and share their culture and their heritage. From that, there were branch organizations that grew up around the United States, ours being one of them. Ours was founded in 1951, and we used to meet in a church down the street, an old Orthodox church. They moved out of the building. They offered it for sale to our organization, but at the time we didn't have money. Around 1957, they started renting a hall to have bingo to raise money, and in the meantime, they were meeting above a bakery down the street, Rintrona's, I think, and that's where they had their organizational meetings. And in 1971, they finally had enough money, and they put up the building that we're standing in now. This building is always active. We have things happening all the time. There are bingo games a couple nights a week. On Wednesdays, ordinarily, we rent out the hall to another organization, the Animal Protection League. And we have our ordinary every Friday evening bingo game. Also on Fridays, and this is for the general public, come and see us. We have fish fries. It's only $8.95. You can have fried fish, baked fish. We have all kinds of pastas. Every so often we have even calamari and other things. It's very economical. The atmosphere is nice. We're very congenial. Come and see us.
Italian or not?
Italian or not, yes, really.
There's a strength inside the people here, quiet, proud, and strong. Hearts that reach out so long, so far to help each other along. Well, we all share something special here in this valley that's our home. Just as sure as the Mohawk rolls along, I'll never be alone. Making this valley my home.
Before we continue along Bleecker on our passeggiate, the aroma of pasta ciatti draws us into Caruso's Cafe. And sure enough, fresh out of the oven, irresistible pasties. Carmela Caruso is carrying on the business her parents, Carmen and Catherine, started over 50 years ago. We think Richard is due for a haircut. Maybe something hip and new at the Dominican barber shop. Everything was going well until he heard the clippers.
Julia Margaret, dress me up in red. I wanna be a woman in a picture. Hey Julia, how I love your name. I wanna be a woman in your frame. Catherine Houghton with the starlight smile. I'd love to talk to you. Hey Catherine, there's no way to tell how many women you led away from that old well. I believe that it won't be long.
We skip over to Broad Street to Rigall. This crane, forklift, and rigging service specializes in machinery relocation. They have worked at various hydro plants, factory relocation, and windmill projects in 7 states.
Rigall has been here on Broad Street since 1963. And if you travel around, take for example, the windmills down in Waterville, is it, that area? They were made possible because of cranes from here. The chandelier at the Stanley. Now I thought they did it from the inside, but that wasn't how it happened. They went from the outside through a hole and in to make it possible to hang the chandelier. And one more interesting fact, the tigers at the Utica Zoo, when it came time to move them, and they're very heavy, it was done with cranes from here. Business must be good because all of the cranes are out in various sites around New York State. As a bit of trivia, I asked them here what the highest reach of one of these would be, and they told me it's 343 feet. Wow, that's high.
I came rolling down the hill, down into the Mohawk Valley. Train pulled into Union Station. One passenger was I who chose to stay.
Back on Bleecker, we visit a community landmark, Garrow's Drugstore. There has been a pharmacy on this corner serving customers as long as most people can remember.
When you come in here, you can pick up your own medicines for your children or yourself, and you can also pick up medicine for your dog, Fido, let's say. And his medicines can be flavored with beef or liver. If you're bringing in a cat, they'll flavor that with chicken or tuna. And one of the most unusual ones recently was somebody who came in and asked for their medication for their cat to be flavored with Vietnamese fish sauce.
Just down the street is another local institution, Oscanizzo's Pizzeria. It is operated by the grandsons of its founder, Eugenio Berlini.
Eugenio Berlini brought pizza to Utica almost 100 years ago in 1914, and I can remember, well, let me think, for me it's been almost 70 years that I've been eating pizza here in Utica, and the finest comes right here from Oscanizzo. They're most famous for their sausage pizza. Come here, get in line for that, or for the lasagna, or anything and everything Italian, and you might be surprised to find out that the pizza that Utica is famous for is shipped all around the world.
There are many things on Bleecker Street that haven't changed. And if you still appreciate the sound you can only get from a vinyl record, you can find quality used and brand new LPs at Off Center Records. There is also memorabilia from the 40s through the present, as well as guitars and accessories. You might recognize the owner, John Keller, and if not, you're sure to recognize his music. It's playing right now.
So honey, reconsider this as you walk out the door, 'cause I'll do anything for you. Yes, I do.
One of the landmarks here on Bleecker Street is Central Fire Station. Central Fire Station has been around since 1911, but for me it carries a special significance because my dad worked at Central Fire Station when it was a block or two from here on Elizabeth Street. It's really quite a place. You should come take a ride down here just to take a look at what's going on.
October is National Fire Prevention Month. Contact your local fire department to learn more about making your home safer from fire, and you can help firemen save lives. At the other end of Bleecker Street, scientists are working to save lives as well at the Masonic Medical Research Laboratories. This world-renowned laboratory is becoming an international center for genetic screening of cardiac diseases. Last month, they announced a breakthrough that could someday treat heart arrhythmias.
This laboratory studies cardiac arrhythmias, abnormal rhythms of the heart. So we're interested in understanding what causes cardiac arrhythmias and how to treat them, and ultimately how to cure them. Well, the experiments involve looking at the genetic basis for diseases that affect the electrical function of the heart, that cause abnormal rhythms of the heart, that cause people to die suddenly, that cause sudden infant death syndrome, that cause atrial fibrillation. We study the effect of drugs on the electrical function of the heart, and we look to find drugs that stop the arrhythmias from occurring. We've recently inaugurated a stem cell center where we take cells from the skin, these are fibroblasts, and convert them into what are called induced pluripotent stem cells, and those are then converted into heart cells. So now,
that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, this is very exciting. We use the heart cells for safety pharmacology to test how drugs will affect the heart. We use them for regenerative therapy to introduce them into damaged or failing hearts. And we use them to better understand the mechanisms of disease. Our goals are to be able to better diagnose heart disease, to better treat heart disease, and ultimately to find the cures for many of these heart disease problems.
To learn more about the research being done at the Masonic Medical Research Laboratories and their recent exciting breakthroughs, visit mmrl.edu or call to schedule a tour. Call 735-2217. Here's what's hot on the lot at Skinner Auto. Check out this 2004 Ford Explorer XLT. This 4x4 has been fully reconditioned and is now a steal at $89.96. Check out all the great pre-owned vehicles at Skinner Auto in Richfield Springs. Shelter is the place for extraordinary custom furniture, designed by Jim Kiefer and built to your specifications. You'll find Adirondack rustic furniture as well as fine hardwood kitchen cabinets, bedroom and dining room sets, and the exclusive line of Old Hickory at Shelter on Main Street in Old Forge. The Longaretta Law Firm, protecting your rights and advising you in matters of legal importance. Call for your free consultation, 735-6162. The perfect wedding, the perfect retreat, the perfect weekend getaway. The Oneida Community Mansion House, perfect for any occasion. Call 363-0745. The fashions of the season are on sale now at the Village Crossing. Save 20 to 50% on most clothing store-wide, including shoes and Maruca handbags at the Village Crossing in Clinton. Expecting company? Just call Deansboro's Superette. They prepare delicious Middle Eastern platters for any number of guests. Call 841-4377. Savor the flavor of authentic Southeast Asian cuisine at the Lotus Garden Noodle and Sushi House. The Pooh family welcomes you to lunch or dinner at the Lotus Garden, 339 Bleecker Street in downtown Utica. If you're in a collision, you need precision. Call your insurance company first and then choose Precision Unlimited, providing expert auto body collision repair since 1987 on Route 5 in Clinton. Plan a visit to the Arkell Museum at Canajoharie this month and experience the bold Impressionist style of J. Hall Conaway. Also enjoy American paintings from the 1920s and 30s. Visit the Arkell Museum at Canajoharie, just off the thruway at exit 29. Visit MohawkValleyLiving.com for recipes, articles, blogs, and videos. Visit our new website or find us on Facebook.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope that you enjoyed today's show. I thought that I couldn't leave without trying some of this fresh lettuce. I need something alliterative to describe this. I got it. Luscious local lettuce. Tune in next week. Between now and then, enjoy.
No, where are we going?
Where are we going? Oh yes.
Yeah,
we're okay.
We have to apologize.
Go. Next week, next week we're really going to Cooperstown, so tune in, and between now and then, enjoy Mohawk Valley living.
What it is singing.